Hey, all right, quick update. So I've been a bit busy since this morning, so I did not catch the altcoins reversing on the hourly. So I talked about how the 4-hour model probably needs to reset a bit, but we're hyper bullish. We are extraordinarily bullish now. So we're in sort of that phase where we can just continue upward without really correcting much on the 4-hour model. We could even go hyper bullish and just continue going sideways. Like, see on the hourly here at the top, the Stoke kind of kept going just sideways like this. Look, it was down, right? So we had this price dump right here from like 26.50 down and then up, and then look at the Stoke, down, then up, and then over here kept going sideways, right, all the way at the top of the Stoke down here on the bottom of the screen, while here the price was just continuing to go up. So we can go hyper bullish on the 4-hour model. The 4-hour can actually do the same thing. Right now it's crossed and it's coming back down, right? So you can see right here the Stoke's coming back down right as the price is coming back down on the price action. So the Stoke went up like this, and now it's coming back down, and you can see the price went up. I sold right at the top, right? And I talked about that this morning. Once we started dipping, I was like, all right, I'm out. So I sold right at the top because my model is so goddamn accurate. I got out of this Ethereum trade along with my Matic trade, closed those short-term trades out. Now I can potentially buy back in. Why? Well, we're starting to turn down here. However, we're starting to turn bullish on the hourly model. Normally, I would say it's a little early. Like, I would get in for a short-term trade on the hourly model, but I don't necessarily think we're going to have an opportunity to continue upward because that 4-hour model still needs to reset. But one of the things you could look at is some of the alts, right? So if you take a look at these alts, you'll see we broke out bullish after that initial dump. And we got that initial dump, the hourly reset. We broke out really bullish with a big bounce on these. So I missed that potential re-entry on these trades, which is fine. But then I was like, all right, let me see what else is going on with the other assets. So I looked at some of these. Most of them got a nice bounce on the hourly. Some are still early. So Link, that's one that's still really early. I think right here what I can do is I'm going to enter right at this price, and then I look at the 222. See how well that 222 held? So I had closed this position for a small profit. It turns out it wouldn't have hit my stop loss because the 222 EMA held so well, and that was my design. If you saw my live stream and my videos, I talked about how the 222 EMA was the key. So that's why if you look at the hourly chart, let me drop, hold on. I'll do a quick undo a couple times. Undo. So that's where my original entry was, right? So you broke out, came back down. I closed my trades on the way back down on that hourly chart, on the hourly candle. So I had a little profit. Then it bounced on the 222 EMA. If I left this trade completely open, it would have bounced right here perfectly, right before my stop loss. So now it's actually a good time to get back in. I could buy right here. The reason why I sold, by the way, was because the 4-hour model was turning bearish. I can keep pretty much the same risk I had originally, which was about 5%. Normally, that's way more risk than I'd take in these situations. But given how hyper bullish we're looking, it looks like we can get a potentially really big move up, like this last pump on Link. So I am going to enter a Link trade here. I haven't done that yet. So hopefully by the time I finish recording this video, I can enter quickly. So we'll see. At least let me just take a screenshot so I can share it with the premium group, or with the VIP group rather. And then so that was that. And then let's see, ETC. So her hourly model retraced right to where the 55 and the 222 are. Great. That's probably a good time to get in on ETC. Is the 4-hour resetting nicely? Yeah, I mean, the 4-hour is still resetting a bit, just kind of like the others, although we do have the bottom of the cloud right here, which is key support. That bottom of the cloud is going to be a really strong support. This is actually a really, really good time to get in potentially on ETC as a long or mid to long-term hold, right? Because if you were to buy in and have a stop loss like 10% below your entry, 10-12% below your entry, that's a really deep stop loss. On a short-term trade where you have a lot of money in it, that's not a good idea. But if you're doing a long-term trade where you put, probably a fifth or a tenth as much as you would put into a short-term trade, those longer-term bags you can accumulate over time, this would be perfect in that scenario. So I think this would be a good potential buy. I don't know about a short-term trade on it, though. How does the hourly look? So if I were to buy right here at the current price, my stop loss would have to go, to get it below these EMAs right here, it would have to go like 5% below. So I'm not going to do a short-term trade on ETC. I'm just going to do the short-term trade on Link. Doge turning up on the hourly. 4-hour model is very similar to what we're seeing on Link. So we have, it's sitting on the 55 EMA at the top of the cloud, held really well, although it's trending down. That's a little bit of a tougher call. SRM had that retraced perfectly. Now it's holding for the hourly bounce. So I think if these take the path that Matic and some of the other assets took, these can be really great trades because the hourly is just starting to bounce on these. So SRM, I could actually get in with a stop loss of under 3% below my entry. That's pretty nice. How do the lower time frames look? Not too bad. I got a lot of support here from the 55 EMA. You can see that there. I think I might enter this SRM trade. Matic is probably too late because that hourly is already blasted off, right? It's not that it's too late, but we don't have a good support there. After it resets a little bit, it might be a good entry. Sol was another one, although she's pumped up pretty aggressively. Actually, you know what? After this little dip, she's in a pretty good position with the hourly reset. Although the top of the cloud is a strong support, strong resistance. Very, very similar to SRM. So those are very similar. SRM and Sol are pretty much the same. How does BNB look? BNB, 15-minute, might need a little dip. Hourly looks good. There's less in the way of resistance there. So far, I'm definitely going to do Link, and I'm going to enter an Ethereum position. So I'll do Link and Ethereum for sure. Let me see the lower time frames here. Yeah, this is actually a good position for Ethereum because, oh, you know what? I was going to say it might reset soon. On the 15-minute, it'll come back down a little bit, but if I can buy in here, why is it not selecting? I hate when that does that. It's not locked. Why are you doing that? Just get out of the fucking way already. I want it to stay on the chart for reference later. So, hold on. Here we go. All right. So, in the case of Ethereum, that's the 15-minute bounce, but based on the hourly, I'd love to get it below the 55 EMA. In that case, my stop loss would be like over 4% below my entry. I'm expecting a little tiny retrace before it breaks up. So I think what I'm going to do is buy a little bit here. And then I'm going to buy a little bit now. And then if I can, I'm going to set my buy orders. Right here. So I'll set some buys on Ethereum at 26.95 or so, a little bit under 2,700 because the 15-minute chart is getting pretty high. In a minute and a half, it's probably going to get rejected from the 55 EMA and come back down a little bit. So I want to be able to get back down a little bit from here, buy closer to the bottom of the cloud where the 222 EMA is, the red line here. That's going to be a really strong support zone. So I'm going to wait for a slight dip. So I'm going to buy a little bit here, and then I'm going to set buy orders down here at 26.88, 26.95 to 2,700, that range right there. All right, I'm going to have to do quick explain that for the group as well. All right, so Ethereum I'm doing, Link I'm doing. She hasn't made any sort of move yet. I think she might actually retrace a tiny bit as well, closer to the 99 EMA, the blue line here, on the 15-minute. So I think I'll probably be able to buy slightly lower, but much like Ethereum, I'll buy a little bit now and then place my SL a little bit lower. So Link I'm doing, ETH I'm doing, and then between SRM and SOL, SRM and SOL, both look really good. I think I'm going to go with SRM. Same thing, I'm going to buy some now, and then I'll set a buy order a little bit lower in case it dips. And overall, my stop loss can go a little bit less than 3% below my entry. You can see a lot of support here. Look at all these candles. Boom, 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 all bouncing right on the top of the cloud. I think... Yeah, I think I'd rather do that than SOL, because SOL is within the cloud. It's got the resistance from the top of the cloud. SRM looks a little bit better. So Link, ETH, SRM, I'm going to make those trades. And then I may also make a trade. Oh, man, look at... CHC is beautiful. That's exactly where I would have bought right before the breakout. Similar to what we're seeing now on some of these. ADA, similarly good position, but not as enticing. SXP, she's dipping now. Sort of what I expect to happen on the rest of them. Just like this. See the 15 minutes resetting on the Stoke, so the price is coming down closer to this trend line support. That horizontal support, rather. Oh, the other majors for short terms. Same thing. Dip coming on BCH. Dip coming probably on LTC. Yeah, but LTC is holding really well at the top of the cloud. All right, I might make a trade on either LTC or BCH. So if I do that, I'll let you guys in the group know. Everybody in public, you're going to be seeing this a little bit later because I'm not going to share this right away. I'm going to wait until these trades break out. If they do, if they go down, I'll still share the video because it's good instruction and educational content. And you'll see this is an example of where I can be wrong sometimes. And my model isn't always perfect. Sometimes I can be wrong, but I'm planning on this breakout going well. I'm not expecting it to go down. So hopefully you'll be able to see this video and say, wow, his model really works. I could have made money if only I was in his group supporting him, because Jesse is awesome and he loves teaching us this information. So we should get in his group and support his Jew ass so we can learn from the master. That's how we're going to do it, boys. All right, I'm going to wait on LTC and BCH and see if they retrace slightly. I'm just going to get into those other three trades right now. As I buy them, I'm also going to notify the group so they're aware, because it's going to take a while for this video to upload. That's it. All right, I'll touch base with you guys in a bit.